Hi, I'm Adalind Gray, and you're watching Orgasm Central TV.
So how did you get started in the adult industry, Miss?
I started on my 18th birthday. I made a Chatterbait account. But I gotta rewind a little bit because I knew that I wanted to be a stripper in order to pay for college. But then life happened, and I realized being a stripper was so much better than what I thought I wanted to be, which was a nurse. And I'm like, oh my God, like I never thought that making my own schedule could be so amazing. So eventually I just kind of progressed into, doing porn, and then now I work at a legal brothel. So I've been a little bit of everywhere.
Hmm. And do you also do femdom work?
So I don't really advertise it, but if it is kind of like a side thing that I do, if a fan will like come to me about it, then we'll like arrange a dynamic there. But it's not my main shtick, but I do have fun with it.
Yeah, I only ask because it's like I've noticed a lot of dominatrixes and young femdoms are also nurses, which I guess you kind of have to be because if you kick a guy in the balls too hard, you have to try to perform some type of treatment on him. I,
For
I
sure.
I never gone to medical school. I don't know, but I I don't know. But you said
I,
you wanted to be a nurse?
I thought I did for a long time, and then I got lucky, and I'm way happier doing this. My big goal is to be like a headlining rock star. Will that happen? We'll see. But hey, it's nothing wrong with shooting high.
I mean, I don't know, headlining rock star. I was writing a script about a rock star girl, and you do fit the bill. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know, who knows in the future. But anyway, what do you love most about your work, and what do you love the least?
For the most, I love the flexibility. I love just being able to feel sexy and being lucky enough that I'm able to just be myself and my fan base is there for me. Um, I'm lucky enough that I was able to step away from mainstream porn and just do my own thing. Because mainstream porn, like with the kind of content that I'm comfortable with doing, they would never be cool with like me having a split tongue and permanent fangs and all of that. So I really love that about my job that I can just be who I am and then live comfortably with that. Um, Least favorite part is that I really have to hold myself like responsible for doing things. So it's like a double-edged sword. I love the flexibility, but then I gotta really hold myself to that. And some of my fans will know I am very good at procrastinating. Um, and it's not good, but we're in this together. I appreciate everybody, and yeah, everything works out in the end,
Yeah. You're not the only one who procrastinates. I do that myself sometimes. Oh, a lot of times.
for sure.
But you said you had a split tongue too, or
I do. I've had it, I don't know how long now, over 6 months, but
I mean, okay, 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 yeah, that's you have to go to. Do you have to actually go to surgery for that, or see someone for that?
so I went the route of going to an oral surgeon. It was his first time doing it, but I think he did a pretty good job. I do need a little bit of a touch up, but it just is not a priority to me. So I'll do it when I have the time because the downtime to heal. But otherwise, most people will go to like a body mod artist, and they'll do it there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just was like, I would like to have access to painkillers afterwards. So that was my logic.
I mean, hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's cool. I get, I'm not judging. Me personally, I guess I'm kind of like split with the split tongue. I'm split with it because on one side, I think, alternative girls like that, and I do have a thing for alternative girls. But then on the other side, it's like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a tarantula, and I have a fear of tarantulas. Um, I don't, I'm not trying to insult you or anything. It's
No, not at
like
all.
it, but like if that's your thing, it's cool. But you said you shot scenes before too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I still do get offers once in a while for pro scenes. It's just it's not in my forefront anymore. Um,
Okay. So
it,
what was your like all-time favorite scene to shoot?
that's a hard one, and my answer changes all the time. Um, but honestly, I'm gonna have to go with recency bias on this one. I just shot a scene with Ultrarotic. It's not even out yet, but it will be by the time this video is out. Probably. So it's called Red Umbrella. It's with, like I mentioned, it's with Ultrarotic for their series Ink Motel. Which the whole premise is you get a tattoo and then you fuck your tattoo artist, usually while the tattoo is happening. We do some like movie magic to make it look like it's like crazier than it is. Um, the reality is the red was completely filled in here because we did this tattoo. The red was completely filled in already, so she just held the needle to it and she fucked me. Um, it was my first time getting topped by a trans girl. So it was a cream pie scene and it was really good. And I'm
Oh,
really excited for it to come out. So it should be out soon.
oh, oh, trans. Because when you said she, I thought, oh, so it was a lesbian scene, but then he was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, okay, yeah, yeah, I guess so.
it is a lesbian scene. She just has a dick and it was really cool. She cream pied me. So
That's why I love this industry because like every story is so different. It's like, oh,
yeah.
but I don't know if you know these statistics. According to the 2022 Free Speech Coalition, 46% of adult workers have been restricted on services like PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. 36% of adult performers have lost at least one bank account. 55% have been denied insurance because of their background, and 50% have been denied a loan because of sex work. So, what do you think of those statistics?
Yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. I've been lucky enough that that hasn't applied to me, but I'm at a point where I've only been in the biz for um like yeah, 4 years in January. Well, I guess 4 years since I started on my 18th birthday, technically, but so more like 4.5. But yeah, it's not a matter of if it's happened to me, it's more of a matter of when. It feels like at least. So it's really unfortunate because, especially because all of the work that I do is legal. Um, and I do support independent escorts as well. That's a different conversation. But regardless, like, why is it okay to turn somebody away just because of what they do? Especially if it's fully within the law. Like, sometimes people will argue, oh, well, they're like a private corporation, but like, where else do we go? Some people will say credit unions, but it doesn't have the same convenience. Um, Definitely still good to have, obviously, but it's just we shouldn't be forced into that.
Right, because I definitely know. I talked to a few girls that have said, actually, one woman, she was an older veteran. She told me it's always important for girls, especially younger girls, to go to local banks that, you have like a a reputation and I guess like a reputation with, like a good positive reputation with.
Sure.
And because I don't know, I guess this is just from her story. She said, I went to this local bank and I knew the girl at the front desk and I knew the manager, and she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it's okay. We don't care what you do." But I guess
Yeah,
she was lucky. But then there was other girls where it's like they had their PayPal shut down because one of their subs said money for foot worshiping sex services, and then they got shut down. And I was like, God, you idiot. What were
yeah,
you thinking?
yeah, that's stupid and unfortunate. I think part of it has to do with fossa sesta, which is a whole other topic. Um, but yeah, it's stupid and like I don't know, I just don't get how we can't operate legal work through these companies.
Well, there's always this stigma around sex work, and there's always been this stigma around sex work. And honestly, it ain't going nowhere, just like sex work itself. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
So I guess the only way to deal with it is the only way to get rid of it is to, I guess, deal with it. And I guess I don't know. That sounds like a dystopian black pill. I don't want to say black, but I guess it sounds like a dystopian worldview where people are going to think whatever they want to think because people are people, and people are incredibly insecure. I mean, and in all honesty, the stigma around sex work, it's kind of like, you know, about when Hollywood had the Hays Code, where
I
you
don't.
couldn't. Oh, well, okay. Well, it's funny because I was actually a filmmaker in college, so I'd love to teach you this. The Hays Code was this where these laws in filmmaking where you couldn't say any profanity, you can show any sexual nudity, explicit content, or
Gotcha.
anything of that ilk. And was doing some research, I noticed it was this guy by the name of Hayes, who was an unattractive man who had an unattractive wife. And this wasn't confirmed by any books, but I'm just assuming, like, just by looking at he and his wife, he probably thought, okay, well, if I'm not getting any, then no one else is.
Eh, fair, yeah. I mean, wouldn't be the first time something like that has happened. So,
But what can people do to help sex workers?
I would say listening. I know that's not always easy, especially when you're online and everybody hates each other. But doing your best to listen and then taking your time to figure out your thoughts, like absorbing all the bullshit and then filtering it through from there. I would also say I'm a big advocate for, I already mentioned, decriminalization of all sex work, rather than legalization, because, I mentioned I work at a legal brothel. It's a huge privilege to be able to work there. I love it. I've had lots of good memories there, and I keep going back, so obviously it is worth it to me. But there are just like a lot of silly rules that are like based in the law. For example, like I legally cannot state my rate outside of my bedroom face to face with a customer there. And there are some ways where you could argue that could be used to our advantage, but I don't feel like it should be the law in such a way where we get penalized for it. And there's also like stuff with advertising, like yeah, you pretty much can't advertise a brothel except for very limited circumstances. I think social media is kind of like a gray area, or at least it's not enforced. Um, but it just shows that legalization just has a whole more level of problems, whereas decriminalization just makes it not a crime. Um, so I believe that brothels should like have better access to advertising and laws that aren't so like wishy-washy. And I also believe that independent escorts shouldn't have to risk jail time for doing what they do. There are also some more laws, even in porn and stripping, depending on where you're at, that I just think are stupid. Like California, I think still technically has the condom law. It's really hard to enforce, but I know it has happened, raids have happened. And that's just stupid. Like at the end of the day, it comes down to like the person doing the thing to assess their own risk. And, we are generally really strict about testing. There's always that one scandal that happened, but that's going to happen in any workforce. Um, and making stuff illegal does not help the majority. Um, so I guess to wrap it all up, to sum up your question, what can we do to help sex workers? Listen and advocate for decriminalization.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Like, yeah, women in that industry shouldn't be penalized and jailed for that. Also, because I think I saw on an article on The Guardian, um, they said that, oh, women shouldn't be penalized, the Johns should. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work either, because if you're penalizing the men who are buying sex work, then you'd be out of a job.
For sure. I think you're talking about the Nordic method, um, which is right where it's not illegal to sell sex, it's illegal to buy sex. And the argument is that that's supposed to reduce trafficking, but I just don't understand why. And what the Nordic model also does is it makes it completely illegal for a sex worker to like work with anybody else. So like no security, um, like no like manager or whatever. I'm not completely sure, but it essentially makes it so she has to be completely alone with this man, even though she is not committing a crime. It still puts her safety at risk. So again, it's just not helpful to put like weird laws around it. Just make it not a crime so every person can do what is right for them.
Yeah, I think they put those laws in place to, well, allegedly, help children, which I guess might be an um altruistic endeavor. I get it, if that's the case, but uh because I know there are some skeezy sex workers out there that do specifically involve children, and those people need to be put under the jail.
For sure. My argument to that is having sex with a child is already illegal, and trafficking a child is already illegal. So why put more steps in place to do that?
Right. So, but what makes you stand out in this industry?
A few things. I guess you could start with just appearance-wise. People really love my all-natural boobs. They're like I have a really small frame and I have like natural, really perky D cups. So people are always like raving about them. Obviously the tattoos, more recently the tongue split and my vampire fangs. But besides that, I might have mentioned that I want to be a tattoo artist eventually. So I've started posting some drawings, but I also have a small band out here in Las Vegas. Um, so I get like some guitar requests. I have my guitar over there. Um, and yeah, we have like original songs and we're hoping to record some stuff soon. And people always want to ask me about that.
Oh, yeah. So you can't play me anything, or is that on the down low?
Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, I could. I do a little bit. I do have it. I wasn't expecting it, but I do have it set up. Kind of have a finicky setup, so. Let's see what it wants to do, if it wants to work with me. There it goes. I just didn't have the volume up enough. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. Shorter one. I just had my voice lesson today too, so I'm all warmed up. Um, yeah, I guess I'll do 1600 miles. Can I make it one more day? That's why I lay here wide awake, found by lost by some mistake, feeling far from yesterday. Something's wrong inside of me when for me to escape. I'll end it there. That's about half of it.
That was actually good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the audio kept cutting in and out because of the Zoom, but like it was, hey, it was good. That's a good start. That's good.
Thank you. It's way cooler with the whole band.
I definitely because you're in Nevada, right?
Yep.
Oh God, I gotta come out and see like wait I gotta come out and see you and your band when you perform.
Yeah, we're tentative plans for something in December. But yeah, we're
December.
just so busy. So
Oh,
not with shows, but like with life. So we can't do shows, but it is what
uh,
it is.
and one last question: what do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
By 10 years, hopefully touring with my band. If not this specific one, maybe another one. And doing tattoos on my friends.
Yeah, maybe you could give tattoos to your clients if they as a side
Yeah,
hustle.
I would be down. I would totally be down to tattoo my fans and clients too. Um, yeah,
Wow. But wow, those are all the questions I had missed. Yeah, thank you for your time. I
for sure.
appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely evening.
You too.